Love. Source, Yahweh, God, universal consciousness. The divine energy is known by many names. It, having no particular gender, so I don't refer to it as he, it, as a means of creative expression, produced galaxy after galaxy, stars and planets, just like Basquiat paints on canvases, just like we paint with watercolors in art class. Science tells us that the oldest detectable galaxy is approximately 13.7 billion years old. The planet that we are on, known as Earth, is approximately 4.5 billion years old. So, the Earth is considerably younger than the entire universe. Apparently, God thought, I'd like to have experiences, interactions. I'm going to materialize myself on the planet Earth and have some unique, creative fun. We all know the story of Genesis, right? He initially materialized as grown people, known affectionately as who? Adam and Eve. Then they ate the forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge and came to think of themselves as individuals. And then they had to cover their nakedness, right? So now we have to work by the sweat of our brow. Now God, or source, materializes on this planet in the form of a baby who does not remember that they are universal consciousness in a human body that is a shell simply for navigating the earth. Until we're born again with that knowledge. Or some of us not. Some of us never do. This makes the creative game of Source, all that much more fun, because it's like, we don't even know. It's just like a fun video game, y'all. It's Disney World, like Mr. D always references. It's an excursion. How many of us has been on a cruise or taken an international trip or something? And what do? We go on excursions. We zip line. We go parasailing. We go, horse or camelback riding along the beach, ATVing. But we are currently on an excursion on the planet Earth called the human experience. Reverend Dr. Nina Tumpe referenced that Earth is, she read, the other day that Earth is a pocket of, what did you say, a pocket of wonders or something like that, of mysteries. Okay, so yes, this is a fun game, y'all. We just really have identified with this shell a little too much. So, and I would say that this excursion is free, but it is definitely not free, right? It's quite expensive, actually. But look at what all you get for your buck. But what am I getting at here? Okay, the theme for this month is change as divine harmony, unlocking the secrets of universal flow. Flowing in harmony with the universe calls us to embrace not only the knowledge that we are one with the entire universe, but the power that comes along with that understanding, okay? We spend less than 100 years on this extremely old earth. Yet we think we know how things are supposed to go. We honestly think we're supposed to run it, right? Why do I say that? Because we get upset when things don't go our way. Do we not? When things don't go according to our 10 or 30 or 45-year-old preferences, our preferences are formed from our learned experiences. And how significant are our experiences? That's what I'm asking. We're having this experience right now. Everybody having it in from different perspectives, because you came from all your whole life experience and you have a different angle that you're looking at me. And so, but how many experiences are happening right now in St. Louis, Missouri that we're not experiencing? In United States that we're not experiencing? In North America? On the entire planet Earth that we're not experiencing at this moment? And that's just Earth. We're not talking about the Milky Way galaxy. We're not talking about the entire universe. And then how many experiences did we not have in our last 30, 45, 50, 60 years of living? So the answer to that is an infinite amount of experiences that we did not experience. So we never contemplate that. We never contemplate the fact that our thoughts of ourselves and our feelings, our experiences they're smaller than microscopic. Okay? They're just statistically insignificant. And every time I get up here, I feel like I say this, because I really need to hammer that home. My thoughts, feelings, and experiences as Folami are statistically insignificant. That is how teeny tiny our worldview is, because we're just focused on our stuff. And if my worldview is that small, of course I have no power. Of course I can get into some stinking thinking, okay? Oh, I'm not good enough for this job or profession, you know. Oh, I'm not gonna have wealth and abundance in my life. Like, what is that? What do you mean you'll never have wealth and abundance? Because if I look out, I see wealth and abundance all around me. There's fields of flowers, there's forests and oceans, and none of that is with man's input. And then that's just a tiny fraction of the examples. So if we expand our thinking and our consciousness to understand that we are all of those things, like we're all of that, then the universe is our limit. Let me explain it this way. Okay, so say instead of making use of your entire body, you just make use of your pinky toe. That's it. Okay, just your pinky toe. Now, you can't pick up anything with your pinky toe. Your pinky toe can't read, it can't ride a bike, it can't drive a car, it can't smile, it can't do much of anything except wiggle back and forth if you're lucky. Okay? But if you expand your body identification and make use of the entire body, your arms, your toes, your foot, your legs, your arm, your fingers, all of that, you can do so much more. You can do all those things I mentioned. So if we replace our individual selves, put that as the pinky toe, and the universe as the rest of our body, then we have so much more power. Okay? So much more power. How far can we go? So I do want y'all to remember that. First, I want you to please turn to your neighbor and say, you are more than just a pinky toe. Use your entire body. Use your entire body, okay? Let's start that trend. I want us to be accountability partners for each other. When someone talks down on themselves or tells us they aren't capable of doing something, you say, oh, so that's what we're doing now? Just being a pinky toe? That's all you are? Or you could say, oh, that baby's suffering from pinky toe syndrome right now. Who's being a pinky toe? Throw a little tickle in there. Who's being a pinky toe? Okay? I want us to do that. Because I need somebody to do that to me because I know I'm going to need it. Okay? Please and thank you. So let's explore why we have individual preferences, how they fit into the flow of the universe, and what it means to be in divine harmony with the universe. So we think we know what we want, but we don't know. We don't know what's best for us. God's infinite wisdom does. What do they say? Life is what happens to you while you're busy making plans, right? Do you all know that for over a decade, I said I want to have twin boys my first go-round? That's all I always said. They could tell you I always went around. I want to have twin boys my first go-round. Yes, I'm very grateful that did not happen. God blessed me with one singular baby girl, and she's plenty for me. Yes, hallelujah. So I can't imagine having two children at the same time, okay? So I'm just giving that as an example. And there's so many examples in your life that you could think of where you're like, oh, I swore that's what I wanted. I just swore. And then God gave you something else, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was better. That was better. We want everything to go according to our preferences because we sure get upset when things don't go our way, don't we? We get upset about little things. The driver in front of us is going too slow. We didn't get the grade we thought we deserved in that class. We didn't get accepted into the college of our choice. We can't get the type of car we desire. But where do our preferences come from? Again, like I said, the sum of our learned experiences. For example, you and your mother, you had a very close relationship. She gave you a blue dress when you were 5 years old, and now your favorite color is blue. But if she'd have given you an orange dress, that would be your favorite color. It's just very arbitrary. We really think we know something. So when we get upset about a moment in front of us that we don't like, we have to understand that that moment is the sum of its learned experiences. Everything that happened on, this planet, all from the beginning of time has led up to that moment. So that moment is not going to match our experiences all the time. Now, sometimes it does. What do they say? Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. So sometimes, yes, the moment in front of us is going to match our preferences or our learned experiences. And when they don't, we're not very happy. But if we understand that everything is not going to go the way we prefer all the time, because 8 billion other people on earth have ways that they would prefer it to be, then we're better able to handle unfavorable moments and manage our human reactions and emotions. Manage our human reactions to undesired events. And I know that's easier said than done, and we'll touch a little bit on how to do that toward the end, but we don't have time to cover it. But in order to flow with the universe and embrace change, we must truly internalize that we are not individual, but one universal consciousness. So say you were researching a car to buy, you decide on a Nissan Altima, but then you did more research and you decide you're going to get a Honda Civic. You changed your mind. How many times do we change our mind in a single day? So you experienced the Nissan thought and then you experienced the Honda thought. It was the same consciousness that experienced both. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that there was a change. So why is it difficult for us to embrace the fact that there is just one consciousness, period, throughout the entire universe? One consciousness that is aware of Ishmael's thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and the same consciousness is aware of Mr. D's thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Same consciousness is aware of mine. So we are one. We are all one. We have forgotten that. We are born into this human body, and we are under the illusion that we are separate one from another. Like I said, until we're born again and realize that we're all connected in one consciousness. What do we say right before this? I am an individualized expression of God, individualized expression of universal consciousness. So y'all write, and I'm gonna have to tell y'all, I forgot to bring my phone up, so I'm sorry if I go over time, but I'm ending soon. Y'all write Disney off, okay, as mere child's play. But what did Lion King's We Are One song say? As you go through life, you'll see there is so much that we don't understand. And the only thing we know is that that things don't always go the way we planned. We are more than we are one. Sweet Honey in the Rock has a song called We Are. Says, we are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are one. With this in mind, why don't we look at each other as what we truly are? It's a reflection of one another. Universal consciousness wants to experience itself, so it created mirrors in the form of Minister Toompe, in the form of Craig, in the form of Cretia, in the form of Mr. Lawrence, etc. And that would minimize, if we understood that would minimize the judgment and maximize the compassion. Let me hear you say minimize judgment. Maximize compassion. Yes, it would also minimize jealousy and hateration. You know who is me? Beyonce. Beyonce is me. She is the part of me with insane work ethic and discipline and focus, okay? So I can enjoy her success as well. Similarly to how we enjoy our offspring's success, because we know they're a part of us or we are a part of them. Guess what? The serial killer sitting on death row in Attica right now is also me. He is the part of me that gets a thrill out of a kill. Okay. Now, I know that got a little dark. Okay. But we are one universal consciousness. I promise. I promise. Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. So, and with this in mind, why would I see lack when I look at my bank account? Because that's just the bank account of Folami at this snapshot in time. But if I expand my consciousness to not just focus on Folami, I understand that, hey, I am not Folami. The real me, the true me, is this entire universe. Therefore, I have access to it all, not just what's in the bank account labeled Folami, okay? I am very grateful for what's in the bank account labeled Folami. I'm also very grateful that it represents a teeny tiny fraction of all that is accessible to me. Okay, so lack and scarcity, what is that? Because I don't understand it. All my needs and desires are always and have always been met exceedingly and abundantly. So we should just go wow at everything, y'all. When unfavorable situations come up, we can handle it and serve the situation in whatever way we can help without our human emotions hindering that serving. Like, so if you witness a car accident and want to assist, you can't do so if you can't handle the sight of blood. Please don't go help because you won't be able to serve. So the whole point is to remain conscious of the fact that we are universal consciousness, so we don't get caught up in our human reactions and emotions, so that we can actually serve. Because there's nothing wrong with those human emotions, but they kind of tend to get in the way if we're going to like go off on somebody or blow up on them. We have to just experience the emotions, internally, let them pass through. Or you can focus on something else. Because knowing that I'm not truly this individual known as Folami who is currently feeling anger, I can think about something else and, and not be so caught up in my personal mind. So have you noticed that the things that anger or disappoint me are not the same things that anger or disappoint, say, him right here? And that goes to show it's not the situation itself that causes the anger, it's how it hits our stuff, our past, our learned experiences, our preferences. So when we get upset about petty things, as we do, we can contemplate the fact that 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun, and that's just one star out of trillions in the entire galaxy. So how small is this thing that I'm making a big deal of? Okay, let's expand our perspective, let's expand our scope, our worldview, our universe view. In conclusion, this ideology helps us not feel old when our human body is 90 years old. If we identify with the entire universe, we know that this human body is actually very young, even at 90. When it comes to the flow of life, I'll take the wisdom of source, of universal consciousness, over my plans every time. Because who has more wisdom, a 90-year-old or a 2-day-old baby? Again, I swore I wanted to have twins my first go-round. Okay, so with me, please, let's close our eyes and go within. Ooh. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in the knowledge that you are the entire universe. Your consciousness is the entire universe, just focused on you. But breathe in. If you refuse to be a pinky toe, you can use your entire body and access more power. Breathe out. Breathe in.